I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
How you doing, everybody? This is Jimmy the Bull at MuscleMonster.com. I'm here today to share with you my personal power straps, how to help you become the best power bodybuilder I could possibly be. Training through injuries, gaining strength, and now I'm going to share with you how you can get the extra mile in the gym, pushing and pulling and getting through the exercise. These are the best power straps you'll ever use. Go to MuscleMonster.com to get the full demonstration.
I haven't seen the sun in a fucking week and a half. Look! It just came out! Look at that!
I love it!
And we're back for another exciting episode of After Hours. I'm Dave Palumbo. John Romano's on vacation in Portugal, but I got the whack pack. Gregg Valentino, Armon Adibi, Ameen Alai, and I think Mr. G is here too. Yes, he is. In his very patriotic hat. You're looking big, Mr. G. What's going on?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I'm getting bigger and stronger.
Are you on testosterone?
Yeah, I'm on 3. What am I on? 0.8.
How long have you been on that now?
3 weeks.
Oh, so that's why you're looking huge.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
300 is a good amount.
Hit that bicep again.
Yeah,
Greg, doesn't he look bigger?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Absolutely. It looks good.
Yeah, I don't. But the issue is though, I'm like 240. I don't even know how 240. Getting leaner in 242. I mean, crazy. I know. I mean, I.
It's because you keep drinking them Bud Lights.
Yeah.
I keep getting on the scale. I keep getting small. I keep getting lighter. I'm like, holy man, I don't even want to step on the scale anymore. But thank God I'm starting to work out again a little bit.
I'm going to come down
your
in weight,
operation,
though.
Dave? Do you think your operation did something to you?
Oh yeah, well I couldn't work out, Greg. I just lose muscle. If I don't work out, I lose muscle. I get small.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Are you working out already or no?
Yeah.
I've been doing my legs, and then I just started like a little bit of arms, like because I'm at about the 8-week mark now, so I gotta ease back into it, the upper body.
You just gotta be careful, like stretching out like that.
Yeah.
Right.
The chest is what you got. That's gonna be the last thing, right? Your chest will be the last thing. Yeah.
Wait, when you say legs, you're not squatting and shit, are you? Though.
No, well, I get the fused ankle. I'm a wreck, but what I've been doing is I do the. It's funny because when you have a lot of muscle, you could do like almost anything and the muscle comes back. So I've been doing in or out of thigh machine, like really, I could do the whole stack like really heavy with like perfect form. And it's funny, my legs grow from it. I do leg extensions, I do like curls, and then I just started on the leg press because my foot surgeon said my foot is fused. And even though I can't bend my ankle, I have very good flexibility in my hip joint. So I've been doing some leg presses and I feel it, so I'm kind of happy. I can get legs back, just doing like the stuff I just mentioned because
that's me. I do one set and I fucking my legs are jacked.
Yeah. I mean, if you had legs at one point, and you have good leg genetics, they'll come back pretty fast. So it's the upper body that I just don't want to. I don't want to open up my chest. I don't want to ruin the rib cartilage. I want to make sure it's healed properly.
Do you have to watch getting the heart rate going?
No, my heart rate seems to be pretty good. Everything's on the current.
But I'm saying, do you have to like you have to watch something like a cardio or something like that by getting the heart rate going faster, or is that bad? Is that okay?
I don't know. Who knows? It's funny. They want me doing cardio every day, but I can't get my heart rate. I can't get my heart rate over like 90.
Swim, Dave.
No,
swim.
I'm not. I can't do anything yet because of the chest.
Well, you can't swim.
He can't open up like.
They don't want me opening up yet. Exactly. I got to do it slowly. Eventually, I will. I do swim. I can swim I'm a pretty good swimmer, actually. Believe it or not.
Take that board I got you and do.
My kids have the board in the pool. They're like they kill each other with that surfboard in the pool. They all get on it. Like they all try to get on it and paddle. Like they're like in the ocean.
Bro, I'll get all 3 of them on a board at once. Once a 9-foot board.
When you did bicep curls, did it hurt your chest?
No, I was concerned about that. I did some cable, I did some Vince Taylor really light cable curls, and I have one of my ribs I think was broken during the whole procedure, so that's the only thing that really is kind of sore, a little sore still. So I'm kind of just taking it easy. The first 1 or 2 curls hurts a little bit, but then it seems to be okay. I don't feel it pulling in there, so as long as I don't feel it pulling in my chest, I'll do the exercise. I'm sure doing some light side laterals and stuff like that.
I'm sure you're recovering faster than most people. When do you think you'll actually be able to do something for your chest or shoulders?
Probably like another month or so, I think. You know what the funny thing is, and Greg, you guys probably can all attest to this. You ever notice when you come back from an injury and you have to do light weights, but you want to really make them count, so you use really good form and you execute everything perfectly, full range of motion. You actually become you actually learn how to train better doing that, because it forces you to not lift heavy weights and use perfect, impeccable form. And I always find that I come back better after I do that.
I think form and function's better than anything. You don't need heavyweight, dude. I had the cancer surgery, the throat cancer, 3 surgeries in 5 weeks. If I had any kind of stress at all, my throat would bleed and I drowned in my own blood, which, that's one of the times that's why I went to the hospital. But I did everything, no weights, nothing. I could actually do like isometrics and shit, and just put my brain.
Felt really good.
Yeah. But when we're young, you have to have that base. You have to build that base first. And then
absolutely. Yeah.
If you don't, kids now, they aren't building the bases. They're doing all the functional, real slow stuff from the beginning, and then they never build a base, and they're wondering why they're not growing. Like, well, you have to, kind of, go in the gym and kind of risk that injury for, not be afraid to get injured, and then, injury's going to happen no matter how you train. It's going to happen,
Young guys are also taking steroids for the first week they're in the gym. You understand?
Yeah. They walk in the gym. They take steroids their first day of training.
Right. It's crazy.
It's like we do the protein powder.
SARMs is so much more popular, though. They love SARMs.
What the hell is SARMs? What is actual SARMs anyway? What is it?
Here we go again.
I know, but Dave, I really... No, seriously.
George.
What?
Selective
module receptor.
Right. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's SARMs, steroids, but when you first start working out, you got to build a base. You understand? I trained 23 years and a half before I ever took steroids, and then I went crazy. But that's why I can still look good now. I was in the hospital, a whole week, throat surgery, down my throat, the whole bit, and I still look, big, walking around with that hospital gown on and shit in the hospital. It's because you build a foundation. These guys have no foundation. A lot of these mass monsters you see. When you see, remember Tom Prince was like a monster.
Huge. My God.
And then when you saw him, he looked like Lance Armstrong. He was like a beanpole.
After the surgery.
And there's nothing against Tom Prince, but what I'm saying is a lot of guys who are super jacked. Yeah. And you see them now, it could look like Big Rammy. And now when they go off, they're like Pee Wee Herman. And that's because they have no base.
No base. Tom also can't eat a lot of protein. He was on dialysis. It was a lot more.
I know that, but it's but they all, it's all.
This is what happens. Sometimes when guys who are big, excuse me, they'll have something happen to them. Let's say Tom, for instance, may he rest in peace.
God bless him.
He had the kidney issue. And then what happened was, I think he rejected bodybuilding. Like, he felt like bodybuilding let him down, and he's just stopped doing everything. And if you stop training and eating protein, you're going to wither away. And he's not a big guy by nature, you know what I mean? So he got really thin. And I think he felt that was the best way to help maybe preserve his kidney function, rather than say, you know what, let me take a moderate approach. I'm going to still work out because that's good for my health.
Right.
And I can't eat as much protein maybe as I did. And I have to, change some things in my life, but maybe not go to the other extreme. But I think that, he did that.
But he said that in his interview. That's exactly what he said. Yeah.
I think, though, that what you just said, though, I think a lot of guys, when you start taking steroids from day one, I think when you don't train, I mean, when you decide that's the end of my career, I think they don't know how to train without steroids. Do you understand? I think that first, number two, I always tell people
they don't know how to mentally train without steroids.
But they can't. Right. But what I'm saying is, I tell people, you ever watch these television shows? Life After Humans. Like, in other words, if there was once a stream underneath my house before they built my house. One day in 100 years from now, that stream will come back. And, what I'm saying is you go back to what you were. If you don't continue training and living a healthy lifestyle, okay, you're going to go back to what you were. If you were Pee Wee Herman, a skinny guy, you're going to go back to that. If you were a fat guy, you kind of go back to that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, of course, sure, agreed.
That's what I feel anyway.
Did you, if you don't mind, did you take any peptides, any BPC or TB?
Yeah, I did some BPC 157 and TB when from Titan Medical when I had the foot fusion done.
Oh,
and I've still been taking them. I take a little bit every day just for healing purposes.
Okay. Do you think?
Did it help? I don't know.
You don't know.
It's hard to tell if it helps. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if it did because I don't have any like chronic injuries in the sense where I'm not in chronic pain. I'm just when I walk, my foot doesn't feel good. Yeah. I don't know. I think I have to believe that it helped a little bit, and because I do know people who've used BPC 157 and the TB 500 and have gotten good results. And I don't think it's not going to cure arthritis. In other words, if you have like bone on bone, it's not going to fix that. I mean, that's I don't even think stem cells will fix that. At this point,
I don't think so either. But it should speed up recovery, right? That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, if you have an injury or you had a surgery or you have something that's healing, it will help with the healing because I think it helps the blood vessel vasculature of that area grow into that area. It has a lot of immune modulating effects. So, like I said, when you're in a desperate situation where you want something healed and you're a bodybuilder and you have an injury or have an injury, it doesn't hurt to try it. It doesn't seem like there's any negative side effects to using it from the research that I've done. Because I was concerned because I had thyroid cancer, so I couldn't use growth hormone or anything like that. I was a little nervous about that, using that until I'm maybe 5 years, free of the thyroid cancer. But so I used the TB and I felt like it, and the BPC, and I felt like it did help. But
are you on thyroid meds?
My right shoulder.
Yeah, I'm on replacement. Yeah, I take replacement. I take 200 micrograms of T4 every morning.
Nice. Oh, you don't do Armor?
No. You know what? My body converts T4 to T3 very, very easily. Good. And my levels. It's funny. I never had a problem from the minute I had my thyroid removed and they dosed me. I just never had a problem with thyroid. How some people can't get dosed right and they don't feel good. And I never had that issue. It seemed like they got me on. I actually was on 150, I think, first, 175 micrograms. And he raised me up a little bit because it wasn't because I didn't feel good. It was because he wanted my TSH suppressed. Because TSH is what stimulates the thyroid cancer cells from growing.
Hormone. Yeah.
So they want your TSH really low when you have thyroid cancer, and they want you on total replacement because even if there are a few cancer cells floating around, which there could be in my lymph nodes, they can't grow because they only grow in response to TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone.
Right.
What else is part of your recovery program right now? How are you eating? I'm sure the viewers want to know.
I'm eating I eat like a bodybuilder now. I mean, I literally try to eat at least 5 times a day.
Wow.
High protein. I've definitely raised my protein more than it's ever been. I'm probably eating about 40 grams of protein, at least 5. So I'm eating about 200 grams of protein a day, which is a lot more than I was eating when I was trying to downsize myself. Because if you eat too much protein and you're trying to downsize, you don't lose any muscle.
Are you getting
now that I want to put muscle on, I got to eat more.
You're getting it from chicken and fish mostly.
Yeah, with an occasional red meat meal. I don't eat a lot of red meat, but it's mostly like I'm a big salmon. And I'll tell you what, Carlos got me so lazied out because he sends me those, the
meatballs.
Yeah.
I got it. Give me his number. I got to try that.
This stuff's unbelievable.
It's so easy. You put the package. First of all, it comes in 2 half-pound packages packed together. And I like the cilantro lime. It's the best one. There's nothing in it. It just tastes great. I'll put one whole packet into the microwave for a minute and 30 seconds.
Right.
I open it up. I cut the plastic off and I eat it. It doesn't need to be spiced, flavored, nothing. You can literally just rip it up into pieces. I'll mix it in with some rice or something like that. And I instantly eat it. It's so convenient that I don't want to even make anything else because I'm like, oh, do I really want to cook a piece of salmon right now? I'm like, I could just put this in the microwave. And then if I don't feel like eating the chicken, he's got the chicken meatballs, which are absolutely delicious
Oh
too.
yeah, and
I'll
it
eat those.
tastes
had
good.
it so good today with the tanning and prepared meals, and we used to use a
Right.
little brush with the Protan. They have no idea how easy they have it.
Yeah.
Oh, the ultra
Larry.
tan.
The
Morning,
protein.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh, the protan. Yeah, that's right.
But the
Protan.
BPC, like my right shoulder for the BPC, it has a tear in it, and if I don't use it, that pain will come back, and I can barely do a press. So
Oh, really?
I believe it does work. It just depends where you get it from. You get it on these weird sites. It's probably, who knows what it is. But and then the HRT clinics, it's a little expensive, but at least it's real.
It's real though. I know it's real, and it comes from a pharmacy. So
Yeah. So
I
what's up,
hope they
Larry?
keep selling it.
That's
And going
crazy.
back to the kids that are, working out, all the bodybuilders that had that base before they really juiced up, they can stay big when they're older. That's what I explain to people. If you start juicing as soon as you start training, like a lot of these guys, I think Nick Walker did that. He started, loading up as soon as he started. Hey, they didn't have that period where they did maybe a teenage show naturally, or they won some shows, and then when they get off, their body just kind of goes. But if your body had that muscle before it started that gear, once you get, in your late 30s, 40s, or whatever, that muscle should not just disappear unless you're not. People are like, well, like with me, they're like, how can you stay, that size if you're Dorian Yates isn't that big? I'm like, Dorian Yates, it does nothing bodybuilding related. He does meditation, bike riding.
Right.
They don't want to be that big anymore at all.
Must be fit.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying.
You're
Must
right.
be able to climb a tree.
It's like the bikini girl who does a show, looks her absolute best, and then after the show eats like an absolute slob, hardly goes to the gym, doesn't do cardio, gets depressed, and then says, look, it's all this T3 I took that got me fat. No, it's the fact that you haven't stopped stuffing your face and stopped working out. You only look as good as what you do. So you have to make bodybuilding like this obsessive, compulsive, thing that you just add to your repertoire. So whether you're competing for a show or you're recovering from a surgery, going to the gym must be a priority, and eating right must be a priority, and sleeping and taking your nutritional supplements. If that doesn't become part of your whole being, then you're never going to be a great athlete, in the physique world. It just, but if you do make it part of your routine, you can go through injuries and come back real fast. And people say, how did that guy recover so quickly? How come he still looks so lean? Well, because, people ask me all that time, how do you stay so lean and you have vascular? Because I eat right and I do as much as I possibly can to stay in the bodybuilding. I take all my nutritional supplements. Even if I can't go to the gym, I don't stop living the lifestyle. I don't say, oh, I can't go to the gym, so I'm just going to eat 2 shitty meals a day. That's not, you can't do that.
Dude, but that goes back to what I was saying when I first originally said these kids started out with taking steroids. If Nick Walker started out like that, trust me, one day when he retires, you're going to be like, holy shit. I'm just telling you, it's the way it is, man.
But is that healthy?
Greg, I disagree. I disagree in the sense that if you live a bodybuilding lifestyle, all right, maybe if you started taking drugs a little early on in your teen years, you might not respond later down the road. But if you continue to train and eat right and take your supplements, I don't think you're not going to just lose muscle because
they all do though. But what would make Nick Walker different than what's his name there? Fucking
remember that guy that beat Ronnie Coleman? That guy that beat Ronnie Coleman, that Russian guy, what was his name? Alex
Fedorov?
He was a freak, and then he turned into
tore his pec. He's still a freak. Have you seen him?
Wait, every one of them though,
yeah, it's huge.
Every one of them goes back to being, you know how many ex-bodybuilders? I mean, Paul Dillette, who was absolutely.
But Paul Dillette, by his own decision, wanted to downsize. If he goes to the gym for 2 weeks, he'll probably be bigger than he was, when he competed.
Well, you know why? Because most of these guys, then they start getting the kidney problems from the blood pressure being high and everything.
People go, Greg, what happens is people go the opposite direction. They get something goes wrong with their body and they say, you know what? I am rejecting bodybuilding. And they go the other direction. And those are the people that disappear. And
that's like Mike Matarazzo.
Worked out a day in their life.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I started training when I was 12. I did my first competition and started my first cycle when I was 16 and won my first show. And I haven't stopped. And so that's been 40 years nonstop. I just never stopped. I never stopped training.
As long as you train, you're going to continue to look great,
I just never stopped. I just always did it. And
Harry, let's see your bicep.
But you still do like real cycles?
Buddy.
You still do like you still do hardcore cycles, like, or no?
No.
Right.
Well,
like
yeah, but I'm 56 years old. I do a little bit of tests, a little bit of NPP. That's it.
Yeah, that's all you need.
But I did up till a few years back.
But what I'm saying is, if you had no body fat and you were thin to begin, you're going to go back to being lean. And if you're muscular, you're going to be muscular, but you're not going to be jacked. You're not going to see Nick Walker walking around.
You stop working out.
Greg,
you're talking about people who stop working out, not people who continue to work out.
All the guys that
head's cut off, Greg.
All the guys that started training when I started, Sean Ray and Gasperi and all those guys, as soon as they stopped competing, they stopped training.
Yeah.
So they all
not
shrunk.
Richie. Richie looks amazing if you see him.
Now he does, but he stopped for a long time.
He's still.
I remember I went to the Fit Expo.
I mean,
I think he froze.
Yeah, you get really burned out
a little bit. You're cutting off the top of your head, Greg. There you go.
They get burnt out. They stop everything. They stop. They don't do anything.
They stop everything.
Everything.
And just eat anything and don't train and don't do anything at all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I couldn't live like that though.
He was on the beach.
The funny thing is, those are the guys that if they go to the gym for 6 weeks, they're back to like 240 again, though. They got the great genetics too.
Yeah, but you got to train for passion. I train because I have a passion for this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's what I do. If I live to be 100, oh my God, they had a guy on Fox News the other day, 100 years old, was benching 135. 100 years old.
That's
they showed him.
Only 135. Throw him in a toilet bowl.
That'll be us.
Dude, dude, he was fucking 100 years old. Dude,
I hope I live to 100 years old.
Nah.
You know what?
He looked like he was 75. He was 100 years old, and he was benching 135. And he was doing it. The guy was spotting him and everything. 100 years old. God bless him, man. That's the way I want to be. I don't care about being jacked. I'd rather be muscular, just in shape, and the passion of working out. I can't. If I don't work out, if I miss a workout, even today, I start having dreams. Like I'm in the gym. The gym's closed. I got 5 minutes. I got to do a whole workout. You know what I mean? It's like a nightmare. Like I got 5 fucking minutes. I got to do like chest back. You know.
You go every day.
Almost every day, yeah. Because it's
like 2 in the morning too to work out.
That's I do. I trained till fucking 3 in the morning today, and then you made me come here early today. I went to bed at 7:30.
I do 3 times a week. If I do more than 3 times a week, I just feel overtrained because I don't hardly. My sleep is shit, and you know, so there's no point in me even going more than 3 times.
You got to take naps during the day.
No, you don't have to. I don't do full like heavy duty working out. 3 like that. I do certain like light stuff, and I have like its own little system that I follow. It's my own. You know what I mean? It works for me. Like I'll do no weights at all, and you know, but I try to do a little something every day to stay because I'm obsessed with just like I've been doing it since like Larry said, since I was 12. I was 12 in 1972. Remember,
you're an example of. You're an example of a guy I used to hate because you can never watch someone like Greg in the gym because he's a chronic overtrainer. He doesn't take enough days off, but for some reason his body finds a way to recover. If I did what you did, I would be emaciatedly overtrained. My body.
Wait a minute. I live by Tom Platz's creed. You're either gonna force your muscle to go on or cease to exist. You ever hear it? I live by it. Like, fuck you. You're going to do. I like to train like that. I like lots of. I couldn't sit there with 3 sets, 4 sets.
Well, what I'm saying is your body recovers from it. You actually do recover from those workouts.
I think over time, you probably adaptation. Like if you did it for 6 months, you'd probably be fine, Dave.
I still do the same 4 days.
I can't do volume. I don't do volume.
If I try to do like body parts twice a week, I'm trashed. My arms get smaller.
I can't
do the same 4-day split that I've been doing for, I don't know,
40
forever.
40 years, yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
But I think
by
that
the
your
way,
body
right?
adapts to
Not
that.
to
Like,
change the subject. Not to change the subject. What do you think about the new Sports Illustrated
Oh goodness!
What?
trans model?
unbelievable.
Can you
Is
show
that what
it?
they do? They
James,
just did.
there you go. So that's a man.
It was.
So what I don't understand is, hold on. What I don't understand is why are they taking away all these great things that women have been doing for years? In other words, women have appeared on Sports Illustrated swimsuit model issue for since they started the thing. Why now are they taking away women's opportunities to give it to men who are pretending to be women? I don't understand it.
Put in a
Dave,
chick
woke.
on GQ.
It's woke. They're just shoving it in your face. It's not just them. Look at the woman they had on, like, was it last year or the year before, that was fat. And they're gonna no, you're gonna like fat women. You're gonna
She's
like what
fat.
we tell you.
That,
Yeah,
that
she's
girl's
pretty
fat.
He's fat.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That girl looks
agree.
like shit.
They
That
were
guy looks like
complaining
shit.
5 years ago. They were complaining that women don't have enough opportunities, and now they have it. Now they're taking away opportunities and giving it to men who pretend to be women.
It's a disgrace.
I agree.
But it must be something. It's subconsciously they're trying to tell men, hey, if you want to get ahead, be a woman.
You mean the programming?
Yeah, I think
Propaganda.
It's
Propaganda.
They're doing it.
Something wrong with those guys.
Dave,
Something wrong with their head.
They want boys to think it's okay to be girls.
No,
and
it's
then
not.
they be rewarded.
No, it will never be.
Listen,
It's a
my
total
son's
mind
school.
control.
Listen, guys, my son's school is shutting down. I have to find a new school for him. We're going looking around for new schools. My son's mother and I are going around to look for new schools. And one of the things that we ask them is do you teach gender affirmation or stuff like that? Every single school we've gone to says yes. So we're going to homeschool our child.
You have to. That's what's going to happen. No more public schools.
You're in the most liberal state in the nation right now.
Hey, I mean, they legalized ibogaine. What do you say, right?
That's right. But by the way, how's your case doing? Any updates?
I got some great news on Friday. I have 2 lawyers now, and I have 2 specialists that are working on this. Both of them are PhDs, specializing in hallucinogens, especially ibogaine, and they are 100% sure that he did an overdose. So at this point right now, we have to, go to the trial. I don't want to say anything because they might pick up on what I'm saying. Right. But the good news is that, it's just a waiting game right now. And even if they were to say that I distributed it to him, which I didn't do, but if they said I did, we're talking what was in his blood, maybe, because there's nothing left. There's no substance left for them to charge me with. So right. it's a good chance I could beat this entirely.
Oh, great! That's awesome. When do you think you're going to go to trial?
Thank you. Yes, man. I don't know when it's coming. We're looking at November now.
Oh, wow.
So it was going to be next year. Now it's going to be more like November. And
you still have your court-appointed attorney, or did you get some attorneys? Did you buy some attorneys now?
No, the same group of people I'm working with. They just really stepped their game up. See, this is such a high-profile case that the Federal Public Defender's Office needs to win this, because if they don't, the proposition in Colorado gets shut down and it won't go anywhere in the country. They're literally using me as a scapegoat to shut down these propositions all across the country. So California will get shut down. New York is going to put this on the ballot. They'll get shut down. It'll get removed from Colorado. But they're trying to go on the basis that somebody died from taking this, and it's just not true. Someone can die for any reason. We've seen people die on the football field. We've seen people die in the gym. It happens. Just because there's something in them, that's not reason to cause a death.
They go hard when it's the first charge too. I had a case. It's nothing compared to yours. Mine was so silly, but it was called internet impersonation. I had a girlfriend I was dating. I was living with her. I moved back to my parents' house like 3-4 weeks before nationals. She was making fake profiles of her sister on my computer, like, dating websites, stuff like that. I was like, whatever, what you want to do? That's silly. So I tell her, like, go, like, don't come over for a while. I got to get ready for nationals, and I'm focusing. We were shooting for Netflix at the time too, for that documentary we did. And then she was emailing me because I broke up with her. She's like, hey, my sister, they're tracking your IP address. It's a new law called internet impersonation. They passed it 5 months ago. And I was like, whatever, I'm not throwing my computer away. So 2 weeks out from nationals, I'm in my underwear at my parents' house. I'm just staying there temporarily. 12 cops kicked the door in.
Oh, Lord.
And I have no clue what they're there for. Guns to the head, on the floor, like to the head, and I'm like what's going on? And so they're like, I'm like, so y'all are here because a fake profile was made on the computer?
Get out of here.
And I'm like, what the, and so they got me handcuffed. They got my brother handcuffed. They searched the house for 3.5 hours. They find my personal stuff, and they're like, what is this Decaduraball? This is steroids. I was like, I don't know what that is. I was like, I don't do steroids. And I'm like 2 weeks out from nationals in my boxer briefs. I was like, I don't know. I don't do steroids. I have no clue what
drug
that is.
They have nothing to do with drugs, too. It's like a task force for sexual exploitation, probably, right?
Right. So they took all the electronics in my house. They took my parents' computers, cell phones, everything. And then it
Armon's got the worst luck of anyone I know.
Why don't they bust down into all the illegals fucking living in apartments in Texas? Instead, they're going to go to a regular American citizen. Bullshit.
Hold on. Quiet down for a second, Mr. G. What'd you say, Armon?
It's a creepy charge. Internet impersonation. If you look that up, that's like, that person's a creep. Internet impersonation. Anyways, it was a felony. They pushed this shit for like a year. They didn't arrest me for a year. Then they finally put the warrant out. I went and did a walkthrough. And then I had a good attorney. She got it thrown out, and they threw I had to do 6 months probation, and they threw the drugs out and all that. But they were going so hard because they wanted to make an example, because this was after that girl committed suicide from being bullied. And it had nothing to do with me. It was just, I got caught between these two sisters in a feud. I get in trouble for the weirdest shit. Dave knows all the weird shit.
When you tell your stories, when Armon tells his stories, Greg goes to himself, "Holy mackerel! I'm really not that bad."
I'm pretty fucked up too, though. I
How many times?
I got a box here from Mr. G in the mail. I opened it up yesterday, and got a lot of instructions in here. He's back. He's got his keto cookies. He sent me 2 bags of them. Sorry, guys, you didn't get yours, but I love it. He even wrote the nutritional breakdown. 12 grams of protein per cookie. What does he got? What is this? 6 grams of carbs and 28 grams of fat.
That's a perfect dessert for a vegan.
Oh, no, it's not for a vegan because he's got whey protein in here. But I will tell you this: these cookies are absolutely delicious.
You can't put any more. First of all, you can't put any. If you put any more in a product, it'll taste like shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not selling any. You're just getting samples. That's nothing. We're not selling.
I'll tell you one thing, Mr. G. I got to give you a compliment on something. First of all, he packs these boxes. They look really professional, and put them in the little individual baggies here. And I don't know how he does it. The guy never burns. I've never seen a burn mark on a single cookie. How do you make these cookies so they
because I'll throw them out. Because just like your manufacturer, they're not going to sell you shit that's fucked up.
Quality
gets thrown out. You can't do that. I mean,
I can't toast my kids' toast without burning it in the morning.
Put it on parchment paper.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta tell you something. Speaking of cookies, we were out doing our thing, me and my girlfriend. So we were running around. I needed something to eat, so I bought 2 of those Larry Lenny things or whatever they're called. Wait, I ate 2 of them. If I tell you that my stomach was so bad because it has fiber in it. It's got 10 grams of fiber per cookie. You're supposed to only half a cookie's a serving. I didn't know that. I ate 2 cookies. I had 20 grams of fucking fiber. I'm telling I didn't get diarrhea. I got worse. You get trapped gas where your stomach bloats out and you can't shit. You're like this. Oh my God. You know what I mean?
Trapped gas. It's terrible.
They have to put preservatives in it.
It was amazing.
Potassium carbonate, all sorts of preservatives in it. And the reason why it's 2 servings is because they want to show a higher protein content.
Oh, Mr. G, your cookies are amazing. Your cookies are like a filet mignon.
It's a different animal, Greg. It's like it's a fresh baked product, no preservatives. But it's
no. I know. I've seen your place. I mean, I was there when you. Oh my God, it's fantastic. Your cookies are amazing, and I'm not just saying that.
Greg, those cookies are loaded with sugar, and that's why they bother your stomach. Because you're not a sugar eater.
You're right, Dave. What the fuck is it? When I was younger, remember them like shampoo bottles? They used to have fake amino acids in there. You drink that shit like Beverly International.
Amino fuel, I think they call it.
No,
right?
but it wasn't. No, not amino fuel.
Amino fuel.
Before that,
that was Twin Labs.
Yeah,
But-
Twin Labs.
Yeah, it's the orange stuff.
no, before Twin Lab,
Before
they used
that?
to have like Beverly Internet.
Oh, it was
You all
brown.
guys,
It was a
I
brown
would drink
liquid.
that
My
shit.
time.
and I would get the worst stomach ache from sugar. Like a sugar.
Yeah,
why does
me
sugar
too.
give you the stomach ache like that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Sugar messes my stomach up. It's not good for you. You know, it's just not good.
Oh my God, though.
Sugar draws
Larry,
water
when
into
it was
your,
like
into your
this.
intestinal tract.
Yep.
Pulls fluid. That's why it dehydrates your sugar.
Big time.
But it feels like you ate like a razor blade. It goes right in your stomach and you're like, my God, you know?
Let's face it, sugar is poison.
I know.
And
It is.
the more sugar you eat, the more you kind of get used to it. So like, I know sugar addicts, they could eat a ton of carbs and sugar and it doesn't bother them because they've been doing it so long, they've built up a tolerance to it. But if you eat really clean and then you eat something that's like a donut or something like that you're not used to eating, it will destroy your stomach.
I don't eat any of that
you're
shit.
actually putting a toxin into your body that it can't handle. You know,
Same
Well, I'm a
with alcohol.
fucking
Alcohol is
diabetic.
a
You know what I mean?
sugar.
I'm a diabetic. I'm type 2 diabetic. But the thing
Right.
is that, you know, like I didn't know that there was sugar in those things. They were in with the healthy quest shit. I just grabbed 2 things because they were, 2 for $5. So I'm like, let me grab 2 of these
that's
things.
why it was so cheap.
And they taste like shit, bro. They taste like they
they're
taste
not
like
even
cardboard.
good. I know.
Like chemical. You could take chemicals. in it.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah,
you would think
really,
if they're
Armon, they're horrible.
gonna put real sugar in there, you might as well make the stuff taste good, right? I mean,
Right.
No, they got
Should've eaten a fucking
because they use
Snicker
pea
bar.
protein.
Yes, that's right.
They're using
Protein's the
pea
worst.
pea protein. Doesn't matter what you do; it's gonna taste like peas.
Well, not
I
just
mean,
that,
so
but
it's a
pea
big-
protein is the highest in glyphosate. It's sprayed more than anything else. Is pea protein, the peas.
really.
So you get more.
Really?
Yeah, you get more chemicals from pea protein than anything else, and they're loading it more than soy. Believe it or not, peas have more pesticides on them than soy.
and what about kale? Kale too.
Kale's got a ton of it too.
Unless you,
Peas
I know
more-
Dave.
peas more than
You know
kale,
what?
but kale's got a ton too.
You want to eat vegetables to be healthy, and you got to worry about all the pesticides.
Just grow them yourself.
Okay.
It doesn't even matter because the soil has all these lead and all these arsenic and it's like you can't get away. You're better off eating freaking McDonald's. It's almost healthier to eat that.
Oh,
than
fuck
it is
yeah.
to eat
So,
I don't eat vegetables
Dave,
at all.
funny thing you said
I hate
that, right?
vegetables.
There was a study that was done on pesticides and strawberries. Okay, they took
Right.
strawberries that had been sprayed with pesticide, they juiced them, and they tested the juice, and the juice had enough active pesticide in it that you could have sprayed it on the plants again.
Oh my
That's
god,
ridiculous. That's
It's a legitimate
ridiculous.
study. Anyone wants to Google that? It's a legitimate study.
it's scary. It's scary because
so
you know what?
crazy.
There is nothing. I had this conversation with Jason Huh once. Jason Huh, if you remember, big freaky bodybuilder back. In
I remember
the day.
Jason. Good guy.
He's a great guy.
Great
And
guy.
and
Great guy.
He was eating like striped bass every day, going for sushi and eating it, and he got mercury poisoning.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
I know a few people that had mercury.
He
Hair
was
started
so
falling out.
sick. He was so sick that he couldn't even run his company, for like a year. And he finally got chelation therapy and got, got healthy. But he's like, I thought, here I am thinking I'm eating the healthiest thing in the world. I eat fish for every meal and I'm poisoning myself. He's like, I'm better off eating hamburgers and French fries. It's scary. It really is.
What about all that shit now? They want you to eat bugs. What about that shit?
The bugs are probably healthier. At least the bugs, you don't
bugs
spray the
aren't
bugs,
sprayed.
right?
Right?
Dude,
The
I
bugs
thought-
You
aren't
spray
sprayed.
bugs, they die.
Yeah.
The bugs are healthier than the
Dude,
the
I
bugs
go to my
have
mother-in-law's house.
parasites.
She's got a
We can't-
cockroach farm.
Tons of parasites in the bugs.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
that.
Bosch
I got
Schwab's wants us to eat.
I
them.
got these bearded dragons. They eat crickets, and they're healthy as could be. So
Yeah.
Wait a
they're
minute.
eating crickets.
I did an interview.
We're not a
with Les-
dragon, Dave.
No. The
Dude,
exoskeleton
I
of
did
the
an
bug
interview with Les Stroud. You remember Les Stroud, who did, the
Yeah.
Survivor Man? He's a great guy,
Yeah.
by the way, in person. We were talking. He was telling me that even with the crickets and shit, you have to pull the legs off because the parasites are in the legs and all this shit. And he was telling me he's got, like shit in the roof of his mouth and everything from eating, shit out in the wild because there's parasites in those fucking things.
Right.
You got to
Not-
watch that shit.
Not
Now
just
they have a new
parasites,
theory. The new theory is that cancer is being caused by people having basically worms. Like parasites in their body. that they don't even know about. That these things are growing and they mess up the immune system, and then the cancer cells grow unabated. You know, because of that.
That's why you got to take fiberlize.
Worms are in everything.
They're telling people that they're treating some cancers off-label, of course, not doctors, with this fenbendazole, which is a deworming agent that they give to dogs. Yeah. And they're finding that it's killing cancer. People with like stage 4 pancreatic cancer are recovering from it. Taking fenbendazole. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's what killed my mother and your mother.
I know. Right? There's a whole Facebook group devoted to fenbendazole against cancer, and you can go on there and they give you all the protocols.
What about taking that for health purposes, like just for the health?
Well, you know what they're saying, that everyone should deworm themselves. Come like once a year.
Dave,
how come the dogs get dewormed once a year, but people don't get dewormed?
Do you see worms in the toilet? Is that what you? I mean, how would you?
Yeah, you're not going to see them. It's like they're microscopic, but a lot of them, but. They're supposedly in the body. They go to the brain and do all kinds of crazy shit.
And that's really bad. But here's the thing, guys. If parasites or anything is robbing you of your good nutrition and your immune system takes a dive, you're more susceptible to anything. Viruses, cancer, bacteria growing your own. And the worst part about these parasites are inadvertently, because they rob you of your good nutrients, they also cripple your good bacteria in your gut.
Right.
So you're also not able to even process enough good food that they don't steal from you, mind you. And then the cancer grows from all the bad food. So now you're ingesting stuff that makes the cancer grow, and everything that you could do to defeat it is getting eaten up by the worms.
What's the protocol?
I get paranoid. I want to start. I want to deworm myself.
Me too. Now you got me. I want to
metalize myself.
Dave, call Tony Freeman. He had an excellent program for deworming. He's got a phenomenal.
He had worms. He told me.
He had worms. He did.
From eating the raw fish, right? He was getting the shit.
Somebody claimed you never know where it's coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Armon, I had a friend.
Could have been. Who knows?
He had parasites. He claimed.
I had a friend that got a fucking tapeworm. He was a bodybuilder. He was taking a shit.
He told us. He pulled it out his ass. I've heard the story 40 times already.
Well, we got to hear 41. Come on, the story is so great. Come on, what's making this a great story?
It's from sushi. Don't eat sushi.
So many people have gotten bad problems from sushi. It's unbelievable. I've known for a long time people are getting mercury poisoning from sushi, but also worms too. Sushi is one of those things where if it's cheap, in my opinion, don't buy it. You're just risking getting sick. If it's worth it to go to a place that has a great reputation, it's been around for years, sources their fish from a good place, and it has, the chef knows to get the high quality fish, that hopefully the parts that he fillets for you don't have any worms in them, and that's what you got to hope for. But
if there's a bunch of Asian people eating there, you want to eat there. Like
I hopelessly love sushi. I can't control myself. I have to eat it. Yeah, I love it.
Which types of fish do you stay away from? Because from my understanding, salmon doesn't really have a lot of mercury in it.
I eat a lot of mostly salmon, but I'll eat a little bit. When I order from like the sushi place, I'll get like a sashimi, like appetite, deluxe. So I will get some tuna in there. I don't eat. I try to focus, like you said, mostly on yellowtail and salmon. Those are my favorites.
Wait. What is bad?
That's the best,
Tuna happens to be one of the worst.
Wait a minute.
Tuna has very high mercury.
In the
tuna period.
Tuna
period.
The canned ones are not as bad as the big one, like the big eye tuna or the bluefin tunas.
Right.
The can bad.
No, you're eating albacore in the can. It can have a little bit, but I don't think the albacores, because they're smaller.
It don't have no worms, though, does it?
Albacore, the white tuna is not as bad as the darker
tuna.
Anyway,
Greg, in the can.
Exactly.
The can one's cooked.
It's cooked. It's not raw.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Evan Sanapani when he ate the fish and he got pinworms? He's taking them out with fucking what do you call them? Pluckers.
Tweezers.
Yeah, tweezers. He's pulling he's got the tweezers in it and he's pulling pinworms out of it. And I'm like, dude, I don't
care. I wouldn't eat any fish I would be pulling worms out of, that's for sure.
I wouldn't eat that either, but you get the guy saying, but it kills supposedly every codfish has worms. And cook and it kills it. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to eat no cooked worm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're eating half the time. Believe me.
No.
I know, but if I don't know about it, but if I see it, it's got all these worms. I would know that.
I think it's a good idea that we deworm ourselves. I got to come up with a protocol.
Come on, Dave. Come up with it, Dave.
Dude, we'll all done after hours. We'll do it.
There was another drug, Dave, that was used during COVID that people were saying it was Joe Rogan used it. You remember that one? That's I can't remember the name of it, but that's also supposedly good for cancer. That's
remdesivir? You mean that shit?
Ivermectin.
Ivermectin. That's the worms.
Well, they got a prescription now. It's like the sister of it, and they charge like a couple $1,000s. What's it called, Dave? It's pretty much ivermectin, but just like the sister compound. But they charge, it's a lot of money.
All is really cheap. I mean, because they give it to, like I said, to dogs and stuff like that. But like I said, if you're going to do it, you really have to. There's a forum you can join on Facebook that talks about dosages and how to take it and where to get it and stuff like that. Because they make like a paste form of it for like horses, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to do that one. There's something there's some other stuff in there that you don't want to take with that. But supposedly the fenbendazole, like I said, they're using it for curing cancer. I mean, really. I mean, it's crazy. And the way that they're saying that it's curing cancer is that it's killing the parasites which are causing the cancer. So I don't know if that,
Did you ever see?
Cancer can be caused so many different ways. We don't really have a pinpoint on it.
Right.
But for sure, we know that you get cancer when your immune system's weak. For sure. Because your immune system you get cancer every day. We fight it off.
I look at it this way. Imagine if you're living in filth, right? If you're living in a filthy environment.
I'm living in a filthy environment right now.
No, you're not. Imagine you're living like in a filthy environment with rats and cockroaches, like Gregg's girlfriends that he used to date. And,
my girlfriend's mother has a cockroach farm in her house.
You're gonna get like TB. You're gonna get bacterial infections because you're living in. Well, if your internal environment of your body is filthy, too, because you've got parasites growing in there, because you eat terrible foods and you have a lot of toxins in your body, of course your immune system is not going to work and you're going to get sick. And I think cancer is one of these diseases that grows in an environment where it's conducive for its growth. In other words, where there's a compromised immune system. It's like the army is on vacation and the cancer is having fun doing whatever it wants to do because there's nothing to stop it.
When Caden was alive and he had cancer and he was going through it, Cruzia and I, his mother and I, we had the best diet. We did everything. But then he would go with his dad, and his dad would keep feeding him pizza, junk food, McDonald's, or whatever. And it literally would be like he would get good, and then he would digress, get good, and then digress. And I think it stretched it out, so long, unfortunately. But for sure, that those foods attribute to it. For sure.
Maybe
and his situation was genetic, probably.
What's that, Greg?
I said maybe you were giving him the bad food and the pizza's a good. Who gets sick from pizza? Come on.
I can't eat pizza.
All the other food. Ultimately,
He meant frozen pizza.
Frozen pizzas. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fake. No
preservatives in it, loaded with sodium and all the chemicals that are in those foods.
I got one more topic to bring up. I gotta keep the show tight. We only have another 15 minutes. Then I gotta go to small claims court. But I wanted to bring up this interview. Did you see this interview that Dolph Lundgren, the guy who played Ivan Drago?
They got cancer.
Yeah, he had cancer, and he was, I don't know if he wasn't really blaming steroids for it, but he said he took steroids for 10 years. Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, but we just cured him again. Worms. He's got fucking worms.
The title was a little bit misleading because he did say he took growth hormone too, and he wasn't sure if that was what it was. Remember?
Right. But
it's the worms.
Isn't it interesting though how these Hollywood guys, like to bring up the steroids when they get sick, and you know what it is? It's because there's Dolph right there.
Yeah,
people need to blame something about why something's happening to them. Hey, it's happening because of this.
Sure,
it's happening because of that. I mean, Lyle Alzado did it. I don't think steroids caused Lyle Alzado's brain tumor. Or whatever he had going on. But
I thought he had AIDS.
He had AIDS, Dave.
No,
he did.
No, afterward.
Romano said that.
Romano said he did not have AIDS.
I think I told Romano. Bullshit. I know one of his.
Oh, wait, that's right. He did. He had brain cancer. That's right. He had brain cancer.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird lymphoma of his brain.
Right. He was saying it was right.
Whatever caused it, doesn't matter. The point is, it seems like Hollywood loves to find a scapegoat to blame things on, and steroids becomes a very sexy thing to throw out there. Hey, yeah, I used steroids for 10 years. It might have caused my cancer. Well, you didn't get cancer while you were on the steroids, So why all of a sudden, are you worried about? Are you blaming steroids?
No, he's not saying McDonald's hamburgers.
That's so annoying when that's so annoying.
So,
my cancer doctor is actually researching steroids. He loves steroids, and he's a top fucking doctor, Dr. Eric Gendon. You can Google. He's got his own floor in Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City, and he said that they're using steroids now. He's researching all that, and again, he's #1 in the world. Google him, Eric Gendon, Genden, and he said that they're looking into anabolic steroids to help fight cancer, because remember, they're anti-wasting. He said growth hormone is bad, but he said steroids actually are anti-wasting and can actually help cancer patients in a lot of cases. So I don't believe any of that steroid shit or any of these people are getting cancer from steroids.
5 million people die from smoking cigarettes every year. 450,000 from smoking.
Yeah.
Why don't they?
Cigarettes, alcohol, poison.
96,000 deaths. So let's go down the rabbit hole.
Dolph Lundgren said something else that was kind of I found. I guess he was having, and when he was filming Rocky, and then when he was filming The Expendables, 30 years later with Stallone, Stallone and him had a lot of like run-ins, I guess. Yeah. But when he was filming Rocky 4, he said Stallone came into his dressing room, and at the time Stallone had been dating that Brigitte Nielsen girl.
Yeah.
She played Drago's wife in Rocky 4. Yeah. And Stallone said, and I guess Brigitte was causing trouble. She was like flirting with Dolph and stuff like that to make Stallone jealous. And so he came in and said to Dolph, "Hey, you better stop, flirting with Brigitte or Gita. I think they still call it.
Dave. Not bad."
And Dolph said, I don't even know what you're talking about. He's like, it was like, and you got to remember, Stallone was his boss. So it wasn't like he could just go tell him to go fuck himself. He didn't want to lose the role of a lifetime. He's like, all right, whatever, But, there was a lot of tension there.
Didn't Brigitte Nelson end up going out with another woman?
No. Wait a minute.
Flavor Flav.
Bridget Nelson.
Not Flavor Flav.
Wait, do you know how
that was really bad? She went from Stallone to Mark Gastineau to like Flavor Flav.
Listen to me.
Wait, she went to Flavor Flav? She didn't go with Flavor Flav.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Guy with the big clock.
I'm going to prove it right now. Hold on.
Strange Love or something like that, right? Right, Dave?
It was this clock show he did. I don't know. Whatever that thing he did.
Listen to me. Do you know how she got with Stallone? She was dating Schwarzenegger first.
What's with her eyebrows?
That's a mess.
What's the eyebrows?
She used to be so hot too. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, she was dating Arnold first. Arnold's the one who told her, introduced her to Stallone, got her to get.
Oh,
he was trying to get rid of her.
Oh.
Arnold was trying to get rid of her. You guys talking about Flavor Flav? Who gives a shit about that fucking guy? Listen to me. Arnold Schwarzenegger's the one who pushed her onto Stallone.
Wow.
And,
really?
And he was trying to get rid of her because she was a stalker. She started out just a fan. You know what I'm saying? It was Arnold who pushed her onto Stallone.
She was good looking back in the day. I don't know what happened to her, but she fell apart.
Drugs. Drugs.
Yeah.
Definitely drinking.
Alcohol, cocaine.
Yeah, 100%. She never stopped.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my run-in with Brigitte Nielsen. So I lived in East Meadow, which George knows, and the New York Jets used to practice at the Hofstra Stadium, which is a college right there.
Mark Gastineau.
And down the block from Hofstra was like a strip mall there. And she was dating Mark Gastineau. She had left Stallone and she was dating Mark Gastineau, who played for the New York Jets. If you remember, he was one of the New York Sack Exchange, they used to call them. And I walk into Modell's. I don't know if you guys know what Modell's is. It's like a sporting goods store.
Yeah.
And I'm in Modell's, I don't know, looking for something. I don't know what it was. And I see this really tall woman. And I look over and it's her. She's like 6'2" or something like that. She's really tall. And she stuck out like a sore thumb. And I guess she was and there was a couple of people going up to her and asked her for an autograph or something like that. And I heard her say, yeah, my Mark is, he's practicing on the block. I'm kind of just killing a little time here. And that was the only time I ever saw her, but she was impressive in person. Like I thought she was better looking in person than she was also in photos, but she aged terribly though. Very, very badly, you know.
Well, she didn't take care of herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought that was pretty funny that Stallone, had that run. Supposedly, Dolph said when he was on Expendables, Stallone was really being really shitty with him on the set and telling him, come on, man, this is like this sophomore bullshit, and he's like, I was like ready to I was at the point where I was going to punch him out and just say, go fuck yourself, because at this point he's older, he doesn't care anymore. And I guess right before he went up to Stallone came up to him and apologized. He's like, I was a little high strung. Sorry, I might have got a little carried away. And he goes, that was the closest we came to having a problem with it. But he goes, he was my boss, and he was, when Stallone runs a movie and he's directing and doing everything for the movie, it's his way or the highway. And I didn't realize he was that tough on the set, but I guess he is. So.
He's a badass in person. Even Stone Cold Steve Austin said when you fuck around with him, he hits you hard, and he'll even say, "Come on, hit me." He's supposed to be a bad dude in person. You know what I mean?
I thought Dolph Lundgren was a world champion kickboxer.
Well, he almost killed Stallone in Rocky IV. Stallone got seriously hurt in the fight scenes because, like Greg said, he wanted to be hit. Yeah, he's like, hit me.
He likes to go hard when they.
Yeah,
because they wanted to look as real as possible.
Real. Yeah, he wants to look real. There was 120 pages, Dolph said, of choreography for the fight scenes. Every single scene was choreographed out to the T. There was no winging it on that movie. They had to remember all those pages. They had to go back and every single scene choreographed. They said it took weeks to film those scenes.
Yeah, movie fighting is different than regular fighting. Movie fighting is like WWE. So when you get hit in the face, you're like,
but they're not
really
They do 40 takes of the same scene of the same thing.
I heard the same thing with Mr. T and Stallone too, that he got hit a few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, Stallone has a pec tear. Did anybody know that?
Oh, he does. Recently.
Yeah, watch in the later Rambo movies when he's shooting the gun and you can see the line straight.
Yeah, he had a pec tear when he was young.
Huh?
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah, he had it when he was young.
Still looks great. He still looks great for his age.
He trains. I mean,
do you guys know the story behind him? That when he first started off, he wrote the script for Rocky. And he pitched the script and they wanted Marlon Brando to do it. And he's like, I'm not going to do it. And he had no money. He was broke. He barely could eat, and he finally got it. And that was his,
It wasn't Marlon Brando. It was James Caan. They wanted James Caan to play Rocky.
I Burt Reynolds. I heard Burt Reynolds too.
But it was James Caan was the one that they picked. And he said, fuck you. I'm taking the script back. I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
He's the one who's going to do it.
He sold his dog.
Imagine turning down $1 million for a script and you don't have no money for food.
Yep, that takes balls, man. You got to really believe in yourself.
Yeah,
you got to really believe in yourself for that. Got to give him credit.
Well, he knew.
You remember him in Lords of Flatbush and shit like that? That was his first movie. Remember that?
Yep.
He's got amazing hair for his age. You got to give it to him. I
think that's a hair club for men. I don't think that's his hair.
Oh, I was gonna say, Dave, you would.
What do you mean hair club for men?
They weave it in. They weave it in, and you go once a month, and they take it out, and they have to redo it.
Yeah, superimpose it, Dave. Let's see if we can tell.
No, it could be his real hair.
No, that's not his hair. That's not his hair. No way.
Listen, hey, my father died. My father was almost 90 when he died. He had a full head of hair, and I'm bald. He had not even a little bit of bald.
Yeah, Chuck Zito. How about Zito? Dave, Chuck Zito still has a full head of hair.
Zito's got some head of hair. Yeah, I'll give him
right.
That.
I mean,
that's the way my father was like that.
Some head of hair,
Yeah, but Zito's much older. Zito's much older.
Have you guys seen the most recent thing he does, the Tulsa show, where he plays the mobster guy?
It looks good. It looks good.
Oh my God, it's great. I saw it. You got to watch. I watched the whole season in like 3 days. It's phenomenal. Tulsa King, it's called.
Yeah, it sort of looks like Sopranos.
He plays a mob boss that was in jail for like 25 years, and he gets out, and he's like, ancient. And they're like, go to Tulsa, Oklahoma. New York is all taken up now. And he's like, what do you mean? So he's got to go and he's got to like try to establish himself there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's really good.
Oklahoma.
It's a little corny and contrived, but he's so good, Stallone, that you'll like the movie. Trust me. You'll like this series rather. I can't wait till the new one comes out already. The new season. Phenomenal.
Didn't y'all watch the Creed 3? I heard that was pretty shitty.
Oh,
he didn't
Somebody
do it.
just told me last night it was the best of all of them.
What?
Somebody just told me last night. I never saw it, but somebody told me, "Oh, you got to see Creed 3. Of all of them, that one's the best."
That one's the best.
I heard it was
Rocky's not in
Somebody
it.
told me.
Where's Rocky? It's not
Stallone
Rocky.
said he wouldn't do it because they didn't have the same vision he had of where they wanted to go with where he wanted to go with the character, and he said it was less about family and it was less about he wanted to keep the whole like Mickey Rocky thing going.
Yeah.
So he didn't write that.
He said without
they
that,
cut him out.
Yeah, I know.
Pissed. He was pissed about it.
They
Like,
actually
his character. They cut him out.
they contacted me during COVID. The Creed 3 people. They said they were looking for a.
the chin.
What's up, pussies?
Hold on, get here.
What's in the
Where you
cup?
guys
Holy
been? You
mackerel.
fell off the fucking earth.
We thought you were
What's up,
dead,
Vinny?
I
Vinny?
thought you were dead. Me. You know what I've been doing? Fuck that.
What's in the
Vinny
cup?
the
Vinny?
chin.
I haven't heard from you fucking guys. I got everything going on, guy.
We thought that you got buried in cement by some mafia guys.
Nah. It's off season. I don't come out off season. April 30th just passed. MTW's coming up. Fucking get ready to unveil the package.
Uh-oh.
You're still doing your thing, huh? At the club scene?
That's always.
Are there still clubs out there, Vinny?
That going on.
Do they still have clubs anymore? I didn't know people went out anymore.
They got like restaurant clubs and shit, fucking. So you gotta like figure out where the night is with the promotion.
Like festivals.
DJ.
They got festivals now.
Yeah. So I mean, can you get away with bagging chicks? I mean, at these things, do they? What's your game now?
It's the same game as a guy. You gotta fucking. First of all, I'm gonna be like, oh, I was on the RX Muscle Show. Did you see me? wink, right? And they're like, oh yeah, really? I saw you the other day. And then fucking, I buy them a few fucking drinks. I get them lit up. I bring them back here. I say, all right, listen, because I don't want to stop and pay for a fucking hotel or nothing. So I'll be like, okay.
You're still at your mother's house?
Yeah, I'm in the basement. I'm in my mother's basement. So I'll be like, look, we have to stop at my house first before we go out again, so I bring him here. I either tell him I got liquor, right? Or I got fucking drugs. So I lure him into the basement, right? And then I'll get him, and then I'll get him all liquored up, and then I'll get him to my bed here, right? And then I'll bang him out. I'll bang him out on the bed. By the time they realize what happened, it's too late.
Who found you? I didn't even know you were watching the show.
Who found me?
Yeah.
Who fucking you big guy? I've been all over.
I didn't send him a link to the show. I don't even know how he got on the show.
I got my own podcast.
You do? What's your podcast if people want to watch it?
First I got Medicine the Man. All right, it's fucking Dennis Bermudez fighter and Stan Baroni's cousin, and I got that going on, which guy's like millions of fucking viewers, right? And
what's going on, Baroni? Are they gonna get Baroni out of jail, or what do you think?
I don't know, guy. He'll get out. He's from Long Island. He'll get out. He'll be back.
I thought you'd go down there and maybe like try to break him out of prison.
You in New York, motherfucker. Right? So we got Medicine the Man podcast, and then I'm on this other podcast with fucking Chris Algieri, fucking pro boxer.
Chris is good. Good guy.
And then I'm with Gary Tonin. He eats fucking girls' fucking assholes, and he does fighting on the side. And then there's this other asshole on the show who brings like no talent. He's just fucking. He's just coffee asshole. He's Kimura Coffee. He's like the Mr. G of your show. Brings nothing to the fucking table.
I think Mr. G wants to have an MMA fight with you, Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
You make that happen?
Should I call you Mr. G or by your pronouns? Fucking bum, guy.
Go fuck yourself,
Everybody's
Vinny.
on Mr. G.
Vinny, go fuck yourself with that guinea shit. Get the fuck out of here.
You're lucky, motherfucker.
Come on. Hey,
You're
Dave.
lucky last time I was
Will you
this
fight
close
him,
to
George?
fucking
Will you
you
fight
up.
him in the ring?
This time what? Get
I
out of
was
here.
this close
Let's
to
do
fucking
it.
you up.
Get
Let's
out.
do it.
Yeah, come on. Well, let's go.
Let's
You
do
come
it.
right
Set
down
it
here.
up.
We spar,
Fight
we
night.
can spar next week.
Listen,
Whenever you're
Dave
ready,
told
buddy.
me.
Let's
He
set
told
up
me
a
Yeah, let's
fight.
go, Vinny.
Tell
Yeah,
him.
right.
He
event.
said, he said, listen,
You and me, Vinny.
he said,
I'll spar with you, Vinny. Let's go.
Chicks
Free
love
fight.
charity events, Vinny.
Yeah, we'll do it. Let's set it up, Vinny.
It's
set
a
it
must.
up, guy, and don't bring any
Vinny
of
the
your
Chin
fucking-
versus Mr. G.
I don't
the
want
Fighting
to
Irishman.
Don't bring any
I'll help
Mr.
promote it,
G.
Dave.
Don't bring any of your fucking chicken pot pie flavored fucking popsicle sticks or whatever the fuck you're trying to sell these days. All right? No one wants your shit, guy.
Oh,
No one wants your cookies, motherfucker. All right? And you better
All right,
come along.
we're gonna set it
Better
up.
come along.
Mr. G versus Vinny the Chin for
Yes.
all the marbles. That's it.
Yep.
And come along. Otherwise, fucking. I
We'll
gotta
set it
go
up
to
right
the
now.
Now,
bank.
we gotta
Dave.
film this, Vinny. We
Dave,
gotta get
let's
this
set-
on film.
Let's set it up for right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no.
That's all right.
You wait.
Whenever.
If you give these guys more than
Dave.
2 weeks, it'll
Dave.
never happen.
Okay.
Hey, I just sent you a picture on your text. Put that
Okay.
picture up.
4th of July, Dave. How about the 4th of July weekend?
4th of July would work. Yeah,
Let's do
that's
it.
when That's when Vinny's in his prime shape for the
love it.
summer.
I'm top shape.
Let's do it.
Hampton,
4th of
do they
July
still have the
weekend.
Hamptons? The Hamptons still happening?
They're bringing it back. Yeah, I mean, not like it was. You know
No,
what I'm saying? But it used to be like spring break on Long Island. But
that's right.
There's
It used to be
party. There's party
Neptunes
going
and
on.
all that stuff. You know.
Mm.
I didn't get
Listen,
your
Dave,
text message, George.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
If you're on
Do it.
airplane mode, you got to get off airplane mode to do it.
You try fucking around though, Mr. G. You come by yourself, motherfucker.
What are you drinking, Vinny?
I got right now. I'm starting out the day with Tito's. This is supposed to be after hours, but it's like
Right. No,
Fucking
It's a
one's
little,
drinking.
it's a little
12 o'clock
early
in the
for
afternoon.
drinks.
It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. What kind of fucking after hours, Dave? What kind
Well, I
of
got
fucking
kids
after
now.
hours? Is this after hours from like after hours, like running into tonight? Or is this
We're
like
old guys now. We got to do after hours early
After
because we can't
hours.
stay awake. You know.
after hours? Wink, wink.
Now, Vinny, will you ever settle down and get married?
Never get married.
No.
Never get married.
How about pop kids and a girl? Would you do that?
Yeah. Any you got kids floating around, right? That you've had.
Kids out there?
Not that I know. Not my kids. I don't
You
know.
don't take credit for them, though, right?
You got to claim them and write them off on the taxes.
He doesn't claim them now. He doesn't want to pay child support. He has no money.
No, but listen, talking about fucking kids and money. Listen, I got some business ventures. I'm glad you guys are all here. All right. And before you start throwing your money at me for investment, I got this. It's called fantasy. You know, like fantasy, like baseball, fantasy football.
Yeah.
It's called Fantasy Flex League. All right.
Okay.
What you do is you pick your like 5 bodybuilders. Okay.
Okay.
Everyone picks their bodybuilders, and then whoever's all the bodybuilders, they win. All right. Whoever's bodybuilders fucking die off first, that's when you win all your money.
Oh, we don't want to do a Deadpool. We don't do Deadpools on here. Sorry, Vinny.
That's fucked up.
Too much
No,
of a.
all right,
that was
go
bad.
on.
That's bad
ROI
juju.
through the roof.
That's bad
ROI
juju.
is
Bad
Last
juju.
year, so many have gone. It's
Bad
so
juju.
sad.
All
That's
right,
not
I got to wrap this show up. Vinny, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're still alive and doing well.
I'm glad
And,
you're still alive and doing well, Dave.
Thank you.
You need
We'll
to
have
get
to
back
set up
on the
the
juice, Dave.
yes. We have to
on the
set up the Mr. G, Vinny the Chin celebrity fight MMA. You do MMA, right, Vinny?
I do whatever. We do fucking
You want to box or you want to do MMA?
whatever. We'll do a drinking contest.
We're doing MMA. Boxing's for
We'll
pussies.
do a
Okay.
dance off.
Boxing is for pussies.
You up,
Fourth
man.
of July
MMA.
weekend.
This
Fourth
guy
of
wants
July.
to talk shit about my business. Go fuck yourself, Vinny. How about that?
No one wants your
All right,
cookies,
you talk about my
motherfucker.
fuck,
it.
fuck
No
you
one
and your
wants your cookies,
fucking
motherfucker.
stupid
No,
stick.
no.
Your stick
See you again
sucks.
next week
It's
for
been
another
done. Get the fuck out of here.
After
Go, bye.
Hours.